Chapter 6, Case Problem 3 asks to create a new company file, so I'm going to create my own company file. I'm going to do the advanced setup. The company name is Aloha Properties. The tax ID, you'd enter it here. The street address. Once all of this information is entered, click Next. We then select the industry from the list. We are going to select rental since it is rental properties. This business is an S corporation since they require the Form 1120S. Our year starts in January. We then have to enter a password. It's then going to ask us to save the file.
Mama, it'll be a quick one.
We're going to click Services Only since it's rentals. We do charge sales tax. We do not want to do that. Yes, we want to do billing statements. We do want to use invoices. We do not want to use progress invoicing. Yes. No. We have 2 W-2 employees. We are going to start our year on 1/1/14. And then we can go set up our company. The first step is we want to change some of our preferences, so we go to Edit, Preferences. We want to go to Accounting, Company and Preferences. We want to take off the warnings. I went into Reminders and I selected all of the Don't Remind Me. In general, we want to uncheck to show as 4 digits since we only want to show 2 digits for the date. We can then select OK since those are all the preferences that we want to change. Our next step is going to click Add Items and Services. We're going to want to start adding item. Under Item, I clicked Add Edit Multiple Items, and this is where we're going to put in all of the names of the businesses. We also want to customize our columns, so we want to remove the sub-item of, and we want to add the sales description. We're going to move that to the top by moving it up. Once I have everything entered, this is how it's going to look. We're going to click Save Changes. The next step in this problem is to add customers. So we go Customers, Customer Center. We can then click New Customer and Job, add a new customer from there. I'm not going to do them all for the purpose of time, but we would type in the customer name. After we've typed in the customer name, we'll want to type in their opening balance and also the date, which would be 12/31/13. This is going to be done for all of the customers. The next step is going to be to add vendors, so we'll go to Vendors, Vendor Center. It'll be kind of the same as the customers. We'll do a new vendor. We will type in their name. Here's where we put the opening balance, and we would put it as of 12/31/13. The next step is to add employees, so we'll go to Employees, Employee Center. So we add a new employee. We go New Employee. We would enter their name here, their social security number right here. We would go to their payroll info tab. they want to pay semi-monthly. We click on their taxes, and we can choose their filing status here. We want to make sure Medicare, Social Security, and federal unemployment tax are all checked. We would put in we would add new, click salary, and then we would type in the salary, or we would put hourly and their hourly rate right there. The next step is going to be to go to the chart of accounts. We're going to want to add a new account for the bank. For the bank account, we'll want to make sure that bank is selected. On the next page is where you can enter the account name, the description, and you would click right here to enter the opening or the ending balance and the date. We are going to continue adding new accounts for each of the properties, the 2 properties that they own. These are each going to go under the long-term liability accounts. We'll want to put the account name here as notes payable for this long-term liability account. And same as the bank account, we will want to enter the opening balance as of 12/31/13 right here. The other 2 accounts that we'll need to add is for land and building. They will both be a new account and fixed assets. We are going to have to edit the furniture and equipment account code to make that $250,000. We will also add another account code here for accumulated depreciation, and I will open that because we are going to have to map it to, once we've added it in, right here is where we're going to scroll down and we're going to map it to the accumulated depreciation account. After we've added all those accounts, our next step is going to be entering a journal for the capital stock of $10,000 and retained earnings of $70,000. We want to close the opening balance equity account so that there is $10,000 in the capital stock account and $24,700 in the retained earnings account. So to do that, we are going to have to double click on the retained earnings, and then when once all the account codes are entered, we would be able to double click here and it would bring us up to the screen where we can enter our journal entries. This is what the journal entry screen looks like. We're going to make sure that the capital stock is showing at $10,000 and the opening balance equity is at 0. So once the transaction is entered, we would click record. The last 6 steps ask that we run reports. So the first step is the customer balance summary. We would go to reports, customers and receivables. There's the customer balance summary. For the vendor balance summary, we'd go vendors and payables, and there's the vendor balance summary. The next report we want to run is employee contact list. So we'd go employees and payroll. There's our employee contact list. We want to do an account listing. That's under accountant taxes. Here is our account listing. Number 5 asks for item listing. Under list, we'd go to item listing. And number 6 asks for the trial balance. So we would go account and taxes, and here would be our trial balance.